Bonjour! No, that's not right. Buenos dias, ¿cómo está? Una copa de vino blanco. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? No, I'm all out of Spanish. That is all the Spanish I know, but welcome to the Spanish Wine Quiz. Welcome to the Grape Explorer. Here we do wine education, product reviews, and lots of wine tastings. So if you're interested in all things wine, consider subscribing. Yes, today is the Spanish Wine Quiz. It's been quite a while since I tested you all on your knowledge of España, and I thought 10 questions all about their wines would be absolutely perfect to keep you on your toes. So let's jump straight in to question number 1. A wine labelled Crianza must have spent a minimum of how long in oak? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 23 months, or 26 months? Of course, a lot of labelling in Spain is Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva, and that always means that it's spent a certain amount of time aging, some in oak and then some in bottle. But what is it for Crianza? Well, those of you who've started off by saying 6 months have got that one absolutely correct. Good start for you. So let's move on to question number 2, and this is going to pit your knowledge of wine regions to the test. Which of the following is the largest denominación de origen? Is it La Mancha? Is it Rioja? Is it Navarra? Or is it Umbría? The challenge, of course, with all of these quizzes is having to remember all of the regions, and there are, of course, a lot when it comes to Spain. And one of them, the largest one, popularises a lot of the bulk production in the country. So those of you who have gone for La Mancha are absolutely correct. As we move on to question 3, quick question. If anyone watched my recent introduction to Cava, you're probably going to know the answer to this particular one. What method is used in the production of Cava? Is it the transfer method, the carbonated method, the traditional method, or the tank method? How many of you did watch my video on Cava? And if you haven't, why not? Check it out. It's a good one, I think. Cava is known for making wines the same method production as champagne, and that method of production is known as the traditional method. So those of you that have gone for answer C have got another one ticked off. As we go on to question 4, this is about being able to appropriately give the Spanish term for a grape that may originate somewhere else. What's the alternate name for that grape? So what is the Spanish name given to Muscat? Is it Moscato? Is it Moscatel? Is it Muscat? Or is it Moscadelo? Very popular in the south of Spain. A lot of the wines grown close to where I visit on occasion produce sweet wines made from this particular grape, and locally this grape goes by the name of Moscatel. So answer B is your correct one there. And not too far along the coast from where the Moscatel is grown that I visit, you'll find the town of Jerez, which is famous for its sherry production, which would best describe the aromas of a sherry which has been labelled Pedro Jimenez. Would it be lemon and lime? Would it be apricot and peach? Would it be dried fruit and licorice? Or would it be black plum and leather? Lots of different styles of sherry, of course, which run through a range of colours and importantly a range of styles and sweetness. Pedro Jimenez as a style is traditionally a very dark colour, very sweet kind of style. And the types of aromas that you would expect to present with that type of grape are dried fruit and licorice. So answer C is the correct one here. Now earlier there was a question about alternate names for grapes, and this one is along the same lines. Which other names does Tempranillo go by in Spain? Does it go by Tinta Madrid, Sensibel, Tinta de Toro, or is it all three of those? It's fascinating to me that whilst grapes have different names in different countries, they have different names in the same country. How confusing. No wonder labelling terms can be such a minefield for people. And this is made all the more trickier when it comes to Tempranillo by the fact that it is known by all of those names on the screen in front of you now. Tinta Madrid, Sensibel and Tinta del Toro, amongst other names that it's also known by as well. It wears many masks, does Tempranillo. Now, from one black grape in Tempranillo, let's move over to the white grapes. What is the most planted white grape in Rioja? Is it Aran? Is it Viura? Is it Verdeco? Or is it Albarino? Quite a tricky one. White Rioja isn't something we often get here in the UK, but whenever I've been to Spain, it's always been something I've sought out, find it absolutely delicious. Aged white Rioja especially can be a real treat. The grape that often contributes to those white Riojas and the most planted white grape in Rioja is Rioja. That's answer B. Sticking on the theme of Rioja, question 8. How many distinct sub-regions are there in Rioja? Are there 1, 2, 3 or 4? A real one for you geography buffs there. So how many of them can you name? Well, there's Alta, there's Baja and there's Alavesa. So that makes 3. Those of you who went for C have got that one right. Now at the start of this quiz we had a question about Criantha and now we've got another question about aging for you. Red wines labelled Gran Reserva must have had a minimum aging time of what? Is it 36 months, 48 months, 60 months or 72 months? Now the key here is that I've said minimum aging, so that's going to be a combination of the time spent in oak and in bottle to give that overall aging time. The correct answer here for Gran Reserva wines is 60 months, so again that's answer C. And then finally question 10. Easy for those of you who did watch my Carver video or perhaps have paused this video to go and watch the Carver one and come back just in case I added an extra question in. Which grape was permitted for use in Carver in 1986? Was it Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Petit Verdot or Pinot Meunier? I'm sure many of you will associate some of those with the wines of Champagne, but which one do you think was permitted in 1986? Well, as a clue, it's a white grape, and that should be a really big clue because there's only one white grape on the list here, and that is of course Chardonnay, answer A. So there we are. We've whizzed through 10 quick questions all about the wines of Spain. I hope you found this challenging, but not too challenging, and enjoyable. Those of you who've got any future suggestions for quizzes you'd like to see, as always, please let me know in the comments section below. I hope you've all enjoyed some Spanish wines of late and perhaps today has given you some food for thought on some wines to seek out for the future. As for me, I will say cheers, see you again soon. Cheers.